Eric Thomas on embracing failure for ultimate growth. Imagine stepping into a room filled with a sea of stories, each one as vast as the ocean, yet so unique and distinct. In this room, there's a spotlight shining brightly on a man who has walked through the darkest corners of failure, emerging stronger than ever. His name is Eric Thomas, and he is here to share his journey, to encourage us to embrace failure as the path to ultimate growth. But why do we need to embrace failure? Isn't it better to avoid it at all costs? Let me tell you this, the answer is no. You might be wondering, how can embracing failure lead to growth when failure feels so defeating? Let's dive into the world of Eric Thomas and see what he has to say about it. In his TEDx talk titled, "Embrace Failure for Ultimate Growth," Eric shares his own experiences and those of others, painting a picture of failure as a necessary step towards achieving greatness. In his youth, Eric faced numerous challenges. He was rejected by colleges, failed several job applications, and struggled with mental health issues. Yet, instead of giving up, he decided to use these failures as fuel to propel him forward. Here's something you should know: failure doesn't define you. It's your response to it that shapes your character. One of the most compelling stories Eric shares is about a young man who was offered a spot in a prestigious university program, but declined because of fear of failure. This decision led to a lifetime of missed opportunities. On the other hand, Eric took the risk and ended up excelling in his field. When asked about the decision, he said, "I didn't fail. I just discovered 1,000 ways to succeed." This story resonates deeply, doesn't it? It shows us that failure isn't a permanent state but a temporary setback. It's a moment where we choose to learn and grow. Eric's narrative is not just a tale of personal triumph, but a universal lesson applicable to anyone who has ever felt stuck or defeated by their circumstances. But how do we actually embrace failure? For Eric, it starts with acceptance. You have to acknowledge that failure is inevitable and that everyone will face it at some point. Once you accept that, you're halfway there. Next comes the courage to make mistakes. Eric emphasizes that mistakes are essential for learning and growing. They are not signs of weakness, but rather indicators of where you need to improve. Another crucial step is to turn failure into a learning opportunity. Eric encourages us to ask ourselves, what did I learn from this? This shift in mindset transforms failure from a source of shame to a stepping stone for improvement. It's not about avoiding failure, but about transforming it into a positive force. As we explore Eric's journey, we realize that embracing failure isn't just beneficial for personal growth, but also for societal change. Eric believes that if more people could embrace failure, the world would become a better place. Imagine a society where everyone is encouraged to take risks and learn from their mistakes. That's the kind of impact Eric aims to create with his message. However, the road to embracing failure isn't always smooth. It requires resilience and patience. Eric shares his struggles with mental health, which often made embracing failure even harder. Yet, he persisted, knowing that every challenge was an opportunity to grow. So, here's the question we must ask ourselves. Are we willing to put in the work to transform failure into a tool for growth? Are we ready to let go of our fears and embrace the unknown? The final piece of advice Eric offers is to celebrate your victories, both big and small. Success is not just about achieving your goals, it's also about the journey. Celebrating your successes, no matter how small they may seem, keeps the motivation flowing and helps maintain the momentum needed to keep pushing forward. In conclusion, Eric Thomas's message is nothing short of transformative. Embracing failure is not a choice but a necessity for growth. It's a journey filled with challenges and setbacks, but it's also a path paved with opportunities for learning and becoming better versions of ourselves. So let's embrace failure. Let's embrace the possibility of growth, and let's move forward with courage and determination. Remember, failure is just a word. It's up to us to decide whether it defines us or becomes a stepping stone to greatness.